Hello, welcome back to the Abbas Wahab Show. What are you saying? Thank you for tuning in. I appreciate you all. First things first, we're in a different car today. As you know, I've been now recording the show inside of cars because I'm living in New York and I ain't got the studio money. So we're in here. You're going to see a lot of hectic stuff in the back. Actually, you're not because depth of focus, so everything in the back is a blur because your boy's on some new camera knowledge. Crazy stuff's happening. I'm officially a New Yorker because I had my catalytic converter stolen. Let's go. Forget about it. I'm walking here. Legit, I went to Halifax. Thank you for coming out. East Coast, Halifax, St. John's, Newfoundland. Great time having shows. Come back, turn the car on. It is loud as hell. I'm like, it was loud before, but it seems like a component is missing. And yeah, when my car, and this wasn't because I left the car there for days. I'd driven it that night, parked it in front on my street. I guess they jacked it up in the middle of the night, cut that catalytic converter quick, boy, and they were in and out. Today, as you could see, I'm not in a VW Golf. I'm actually in a 2025 Toyota Sequoia. Oh my God. The Toyota's answer to the Escalade, as I like to say. It's a big-ass car. I got it as a press car from Toyota. Shout out to y'all for hooking it up. This thing is amazing. It is smooth. It's a little too big. It's kind of the opposite of a VW Golf, but I'm having a blast in. I think I'll probably do a review video soon just to show you my favorite aspects of it. Not going to lie, I love getting press cars, you know. Knock on wood. There's a lot of wood, luckily, in here. Now, it looks like wood, but because it's the 1794 edition. Again, I would move the camera for you, but then I'm afraid focus. You know, the whole depth of focus thing I said earlier. Anyways, yeah, so my catalytic converter got stolen. I had to go to the cops. The cops were like, what time do you think it happened? I'm like, I don't know, the middle of the night. They're like, this is happening in Bushwick a lot. I'm like, well, then, I don't know. Shouldn't you know what time it happens? Shouldn't you have an idea? They asked me, like, when do you think we should get the surveillance footage from these businesses nearby? Because we can only get a couple hours. I'm like, well, I don't know. Use an educated. You're the cop. You've done a lot of these. Come on. Why are they asking me? They're like, bro, it's a couple hour window max we can get, man. When did this happen? I'm like midnight to 5 a.m. They're like, oh, all right, thanks, and they're just making note of it. 3 cops came to the house. First of all, I got drug dealers on my street that sell out of their car, and I got no problem with them. They're not hurting anybody, obviously, except fentanyl addicts. Ooh, they getting hurt. But when the cops showed up, man, there's a lot of scurrying act. My street cleared up, so I actually was feeling pretty weird because my building is like at the beginning of the street and the laundromat's at the end of the street. I parked that in front of the laundromat. That's where the catalytic converter got cut out. And luckily, there's surveillance footage there and the liquor store across the street because I live in a great area. And the liquor store is usually where the trap boys hang out. But it all cleared out when like 4 cops showed up to get like my info and whatnot. By the way, I am using a orange mic cover. For those of you that are only listening to audio, you're missing out on the mic cover. The cops, they come. I felt weird because they're like, can you walk us up to where the car was parked and show us? So now I'm like walking up. Now I look like a snitch. I know all the trap guys. Everyone is just watching from windows. Like, we didn't know he was a snitch ass nigga. Okay, now we see. Okay. So now I was like, I almost wanted to be like, guys, it's up there, man. It's up there on the left. Why do I got to walk you there? I walked them there. I showed them where it was. A lot of cops for a surprising number of cops for the incident. I guess a lot of people are doing this, so they're kind of trying to. This is gonna be like some show. They're trying to case the joint. See, they're having a lot of people steal these catalytic converters. Apparently, I think the reason they go after my car and like old cars is because they know the undercover. All of our cars have plastic undercovering, for debris, snow, salt, etc. But old cars like my '08 Golf almost always have had that ripped off at one point or another. So they know if they jack up a car like mine, there's going to be nothing to get in between them and just cutting out that straight pipe, which is exactly what they did. Catalytic converter, rather. I have a photo here. I went to the mechanic. Shout out to my homie, Amigo Mufflers, that I went in, took a look. Now, I guess I can just show you this here. I'll put it up afterwards just so it's a little bit higher quality for the YouTube folks. But they cut a clean job, and they probably used a Sawzall or something because it's a clean cut. So that means they were just in the middle of the night, like they don't give a fuck, just in and out, just robbing you. No one is gonna say anything. Mind your own business, New York lifestyle, and they cut it clean off. Now, what did I do at Mi Amigo Muffler? Did I put a $700 catalytic converter back in, or did I straight pipe it? I am going to say this. I did exactly what the state of New York requires as per regulation. Whatever the law requires is exactly what I did. Ding! I did a wink for y'all, and I'm not going to add the sound effect of the ting, so I'll just put it in there. Ding! But let's just say my Mexican homies covered me. They did it pretty quick, pretty good price. So I was going to go through insurance, but I'm like, at this deal, there's no... You gotta love these Mexicans, man. Bushwick Mexicans have had my back since the day I moved in. They come to me like, yo, man, I'm about to move if you want a spot. I'm like, respect me, amigo. Love these Mexicans. But yeah, I took the cops there, showed them where it happened, and I guess now it's not like they're going to come to me in a couple days. Mr. Wahab, we found your catalytic converter. We're excited to say we'll be bringing it to your home next Tuesday. Like, no, it's gone. It's gone. The money's made. And it's funny, the cop got on the phone with, like, Volkswagen to get an OEM price of it. These guys are out of their mind, these OEM. 1540s, what, $1,500. Now, the blue book on that '08 Golf City I have is between, I checked, at my mileage, between $100 and $2,600. You think anybody in their right mind is going to pay $1,500 for a catalytic converter to save the environment? Hey, guess what? The environment doesn't fuck with me here, so why should I care about it? That being said, I definitely did, per regulation, what I definitely did not just weld on a straight pipe. My homie, Mi Amigo, did that. Definitely that's not what happened. I definitely did what the city requires. But, yeah, now the car is driving again. But I'm getting spoiled by the Sequoia. This thing is huge, yo. 3-row seating. I tried to put a couch in yesterday, but some weird dimensions. You think you learn in life, but a lot of times you really don't. You make the same mistakes. So the number of times that I've gone to try to pick something up and then find out that the dimensions would not allow for it. And then I was like, oh, of course, request the dimensions in advance and avoid bullshit like this. And this time I did not. My girl's mom's coming to visit. We want to get a pull-out couch in the second room. She goes on Facebook Marketplace, finds these dudes that are moving out there, just said, come grab it for free. And she was like, go, quick. It's in Manhattan. I don't care. I don't care about tolls or none. I'm like, okay. I go. Man, we were all sweating, cutting ourselves, splinters and whatnot. So close. Despite the giant size of this Sequoia, did not fit, man. I was heartbroken. I had to go home empty-handed. She was not happy, but what are you going to do, man? We should ask for the dimensions up front. Live and learn, right? But I will tell you, we will be finding a couch, and we will be putting it in this car before I have to return it back to the press people. I'm trying to figure out exactly what... I've been playing the YouTube game for years and years. Also, I see y'all listening in your car, and I appreciate y'all. But I feel like I've been throwing the shit against the wall with YouTube for a long time, and I need to course correct and figure out exactly what is, I read this book called The YouTube Formula because I feel like I'm kind of spinning my wheels a little bit with it. Now, as far as the Abbas Wahab Show, this podcast, the video, it's pretty simple. I don't edit much. I actually don't edit at all. I just correct the colors, sync the good audio, put it up. So I'm not talking specifically about this. I'm talking about more like shorter videos. I think because now that I actually have access to press cars, I'm going to start doing like, I have a Toyota Sequoia for, a couple days. My favorite parts about I'm getting press cars, so I need to start making that type of thing. Not like Doug DeMar or whatever. It'll be like comedy, cars. I'm assuming there's already 100 people doing that, but I'm doing it with my voice, people. I'm out here trying, all right? Trying to make a living off this YouTube, baby. TikTok ain't for me. Ain't show me. Every time I post on TikTok, I lose followers. I don't get it. In COVID, I was the king of TikTok. Boy, dropping viral. I think I've been focusing on going viral for too many years. Virality, viral. And this book made a great point about how, like, the fleeting nature of the viral eyes and audience that come, surge, dip, right? Versus fuck with your personality, your point of view, and stick around for that. Wait for that. So that's kind of what I want to cultivate through this new stuff. The book was like, look at your last 48 hours of analytics. What videos are over 6 months old that people are still watching? And no comparison. You know what the number one video, and I made years ago just as a throwout? It was called Why I Left Engineering. And this video now, against all odds, has like 35,000 views on this YouTube channel, which I guess it was helpful to people. It was just me. I wasn't even trying to be like, yo, this is going to get views or whatever. I think I was getting that question a lot, and I really wanted to kind of like distill the experience in the shortest form possible and put it out there, because there's already some videos out there, but I'm like, they didn't hit the points that I wanted to hit. And there's a lot of kids in my boat that were like, man, my parents said I'm supposed to be an engineer or a doctor. I don't want to be a doctor, so I guess I'll be an engineer. I'm 2 years into school and I hate this, blah, blah, blah. That sentiment is expressed 1,000. It's a story and a life lived 1,000 times over. So the idea was to kind of share some stuff, hopefully help. And it helped a lot. The comments it's pretty cool. It's on some Maury level cathartic shit on there. But that's the video. So I realized, I'm going to do more stuff like that. I'm going to talk about, my experience leasing the BMW. My first car I ever leased. My first car I ever got new was a 435 X-Drive BMW in Rochester Hills, Michigan. That experience. Why I actually regret leasing that. I don't regret getting that BMW. It was a blast. But I regret leasing my first car because it hindered my ability to tinker. It stopped my my drive to get in there, modify, because you're going to void your warranty, right? And like, there's a lot of pressure on you financial. It's a brand new. So I was like, man, I would have known so much more about cars, and I would have been able to experiment a lot more, learn through failing, which now I'm doing in my later part of life with as far as cars are concerned. So I'm like, I should have just done that earlier on. That's why I regret that. So I'm going to make a video specifically about that. And I'm going to make a follow-up video of like 7 years out of the engineering game. Biggest regrets, best parts. And I'm definitely going to make a video about what I actually miss about the corporate world. A lot of people don't talk about that. There's positives. I mean, this goes without saying, 100,000, 100 million of us are in the corporate world, but there's these little, like, almost like non-tangibles that I actually really miss. The camaraderie, the ping pong. Now, obviously, I don't know where you work, what your office setup was like, but I don't think I would have liked. I didn't like a remote. I like a reason to get out of the house. Now, if I can go 4 times or 3 times out of the week into the office and work remote, like the hybrid schedule a lot of people are doing, love that. That's amazing. But all remote would have never worked for me, because the only thing, the social aspect, like exactly how I am as a human, on stage for the most part, that's what I was in the office. I was fucking around, making jokes. Meetings were fun. I was a program manager, so I led a lot of them. I was the guy talking, open issues trackers, emails, phone calls, etc. A lot of the people are just, they're regular people in this world, and they love it when someone just, wants to bring a little levity to it, because most people are just like, buy the book and let's just, guys, the suppliers keep pushing back these lead times, and it's slipping. The customer, it was communicated to the customer that it would be 4 weeks, and now they're saying it's 6 to 8, and that's what it all is. But it's like, can't we be like, what the fuck's going on with the supplier, man? Shit. Are we going to have to send out some RFQs, get some other motherfuckers on this? Because we will. I obviously wouldn't say it like that, because you will never move up in the company you're in. But still, I miss that. I miss fucking around with the designer, the Romanian guy, Daniel. Just going up to him. This guy kept showing me photos of him when he was like, he's like 45, 50 now. He's like, this is me at 25. I had a fucking six-pack. Man. Move on, Daniel. I miss Daniel, man. He fuck with me. I fuck with him. I missed all of those. So there are aspects of the corporate life that I do miss, but I'm definitely living a better life now, knock on wood, for my own circumstances. I'm not saying, hey, quit your job and then go pick up a microphone and sit in a car. That the AC is on. I don't know if you can hear it, but I set it to the lowest fan level in this Sequoia. By the way, I think that's why it's called Sequoia, because on the inside, it's so quiet. It's so quiet. That would be an amazing commercial for the Sequoia. Like, damn, did you feel that? Not really. It's so quiet. It's so quiet. It's actually pronounced Sequoia. No, I'm saying it's so quiet. I know, that's what I said. And then they just look back at him like that. Add a little humor to your commercials, Toyota. I know we're a little, a little bit by the book, but BMW as well. I love Toyotas, more so because you can trust them. The reliability factor is so high. But I love a BMW because of the spirit and the essence of a BMW, right? The enjoyability, the ultimate driving machine, whatever you want to call it. I reached out to BMW specifically, being like, hey, I'd love to get some press cars for y'all. I think a lot of my audience are BMW boys and girls, they fuck with them. Big fanship. I have a place in my heart for them. I think there's some overlap. I'm not a Venn diagram guy, but let me pull out this Venn diagram and show you how money can be made. BMW gets back like, we do not have any comedians. I don't know if I'm even doing a good German. We currently do not have comedians representing the blah blah blah. And I'm like, hey, let me be your first. I'd love to be. I think it'd be great. They're like, let us review it internally. And they have not gotten back, you guys. They have not responded. But I have hope still. I have hope that BMW will reach back out. If not now, eventually. I will say this, though. The saving grace of all this is whoever I reach out to, for the most part, this is actually funny. Whoever I reach out to, they already know my stuff. Because I've been making car content forever. Again, this was never the plan. It was never the plan to be like, I'll make car content and then I'll this. No, it's just I know cars. I love cars my whole life. I started, instead of being like, Walmart is like this and CVS be like that, I just kind of, and mind you, I don't want to be a one-trick pony and only do car stuff. That's why I'll still like, I'll dabble with the other stuff and just be generally funny. But I love cars. So they all know me. All these people that I reached out to, like, hey, I was wondering, I'm going to be in BC. By the way, BC, I'm coming out. I know you're all are on fire. I'm going to add to that when we come out with these hot-ass shows. I'll be there in Kelowna, June 25th. Victoria, BC, June 26th at Heckler's. June 27th, I'm at the Effie in Kamloops. And then we wrap it all up in the Biltmore Cabaret, Vancouver, June 28th. Don't miss me. I'm trying to get a car for them. Genesis, I put up a poll on my Instagram saying, out of these whole list of cars, which one should I get? And it was like Mazda 3 GT. It was like Mustang Mach-1, the EV. A couple Genesis models, maybe like an Accord. The GV80, the SUV Genesis. That's the one most people voted for. So I hit them up. I'm like, can I get that? And then I don't speak directly to Genesis because I spoke to the press managing guy. He's like, okay, let me submit it for review. Now, then the Genesis brand guy calls me from Montreal, and he goes, hey, I'm a fan of your videos and stuff. I died laughing at your Genesis video, which was pretty mean to Genesis, but the marketing team it was a little bit of a mean-spirited roast style. So every OEM got that, right? So luckily, this guy was like smart enough and like insightful enough to see that everybody was getting that angle and approach. So he was cool, and he just wanted to be clear that I'm not trying to get this car to roast it. No, I'm trying to get the most comfortable, luxurious car I can for an extended road trip, right? So I'm gonna be in the GV80 for BC. Look out for me in those stylish Korean luxury headlights. I can't wait to see the tech on the inside. I know it's crazy. But yeah, and gone are the days of just straight shitting on these cars. Because now they're giving it to me, boy. If I was just in my room being like, Sequoia, I wouldn't want to know you. Now I'm in one. I'm like, this is the best car I've ever been in. You know what I mean? So I'm thinking, what kind of content is more? And I've been posting just shorts because I create these shorts for Instagram and TikTok and all this stuff. And I just put them on YouTube because YouTube has the shorts now. And I'm like, you know what? Let's start focusing on YouTube native formats. Landscape, 16 by 9, 5 to 12 minutes or whatever you want it, but not 2 minutes. Like, I don't want to just keep making one thing and put it everywhere. And I think YouTube, because I know, looking at my analytics, I know most of the listeners for me and viewers over the years it's mostly guys. Surprise, surprise. You know, I know a lot of y'all just spit your coffee out, right? Mostly dudes, ages 25 to 35. That is my bread and butter. And then down into the 20 and up until the 40. 20 to 40-year-old dudes, that's my demo. Guess what? I'm a 20 to 40-year-old dude. My best friends are, for the most part, 20 to 40-year-old dudes. So I get it. You know, you are what you say and you say what you are, or whatever the adage is. But so now I'm going to start making YouTube. Watch, mark my words. They say share these things so you can have some accountability. I'm going to start making some different shit. I'm going to be experimenting. But it's going to be long format. And I'm excited for it. It's a new environment, new space. It's a new time to learn. What else is new? I was watching the NHL. When's the next game? The Oilers had a big loss, man, 6-1. That was kind of heartbreaking, I'm not going to lie, because I'm not even a big NHL fan, but just to see Canada versus America, oh, man. Today at 8 p.m., let's go. And I'm going to put this out today. So, it's in Florida. So, hopefully they could. 6-1 is embarrassing, so that usually lights a fire under your ass to really come back with a vengeance. It's just like bombing after you get on stage. And my girl teaches yoga. It's the same thing with her. She had a bad class a week ago, and now every class that, like, she was so embarrassed about and, like, broke her a little bit. You know, she's like, oh, it was so bad. Every class since then has been just stellar. People coming up to her. Nothing like fear of failure to motivate you. And that takes us back to YouTube. No, I'm kidding. But, man, it would be so awesome to see these guys win, especially considering that series ends right around when I go to BC. The Okanagan area, which is where Kelowna is and whatever, it's a lot of retired Albertans. So, Edmonton Oilers, if y'all won, the vibes will be incredible. We'll just be straight magnetic, you know? So, I'm rooting for Canada, baby. Go Oilers. Maybe I might even get a jersey, you know? As long as I can find one at a vintage store, which might be end up more expensive. I'm in Bushwick, so it's like, I feel like people buy new stuff here, run it in the washer dryer 8 times, rip it in a couple spots, and then double the price because it's got that washed out vintage thing to it. A lot of these vintage stores, these like very specialized vintage stores, I'm like, how are you in business? There's one right next to my house. I'm essentially looking at it right now. I've never seen anyone in there. The guy is always cleaning. I guess maybe it's a brick and mortar for their online operation, but what's going on? Is rent cheap? Because even if they're paying what I pay for my apartment, there's no way these guys are breaking are net positive. It's impossible. There's no one ever in there. The guy's always just steaming hats, like old hats and like shining shoes, and he's just sitting there. A lot of times he's sitting on the front steps of the store just to be outside. And I'm like, every time I see that, this is not exclusive to New York. I saw that in Toronto. I'm like, does the government subsidize these people? So it's like half rent or something? Because I feel like 2 months of that and you'd be so in the hole. How could you keep going? I get it could be a 5-year lease or whatever, but how are these people operating? How are you going to take a $4,000 or $5,000 loss every month? For how long does that go? I've been at this place for 4 or 5 months now. They're there. So sometimes I would just love to see the books and the numbers of these places, but I don't know that it's actually going to happen like that ever. I live right next to a precinct here on Bushwick, and despite that, they're still cutting catalytic converters right across the street. The drug dealers are trapping. New York is a different beast entirely. The environment in Canada, it's like if there's police presence, everything around it kind of like acts accordingly, we'll say. But in New York, not at all, man. The precinct is right around the corner. And these guys are sitting there trapping like 3-4 dudes. There's dudes out of their car. Everyone knows what's happening. There's constant traffic to the window, knocking, scratching, getting, dipping, picking. And then every now and then when the cops come up, the guys leave their cars and they go into the house. And one time I saw them just knocking on a car, like 2 cops on both sides. But I don't know if he was like, if you ain't got a warrant, I ain't got to roll down my windows. Like, these niggas know the laws and the penalties, as Chappelle once said. So it's crazy. Guys, these Mexican dudes, or actually not even Mexican, Puerto Ricans are on ATVs all day. Anytime I'm walking my neighborhood stressed out, there's always a Puerto Rican coming by me catwalking on an ATV, which is a beautiful way to remind you to ease up, relax a little bit, enjoy your life. This guy's not even enjoying. He's got an angry face as he's catwheeling on an ATV, like he's running errands up and down the street, right past the cops. No helmet, leaning on the side. Now, I don't know what the law here is with helmets and ATVs and whatnot, but catwalking, no helmet, and the cops just on their phone. Like, New York is a different thing. I thought these cops were straight just beating on motherfuckers, but it's very if you're not hurting anybody, mind your own business type of deal. It's cool. In Canada, there'd be like 6 cops. There's not enough action to go around, so Canadian cops just go ham. And the parking enforcement here is the chillest too, especially coming from Toronto. Holy shit, it's like they're on vacation every day. The street sign says do not park Tuesdays and Fridays between 8 and 9:30. We never moved the car anymore. When we first moved, we'd always shift the car, and we see nobody on the streets really moving it. I figure it's probably a winter snow shoveling deal, but in Toronto, they would be there. There'd be parking enforcement 5 minutes before that window begins. I'll never forget, I used to deliver cookies in Toronto because I was killing life, and one of them has no parking between 3:30 and 6 o'clock. And I remember just 3:27, a parking enforcement car waiting with 2 tow trucks. 2 tow trucks, 3 minutes before. They're towing the moment that clock strikes 3:30. They're towing motherfuckers immediately, man. Too aggressive. Way too aggressive. I don't know what that city's doing with all their parking enforcement income. I personally paid them probably 6 G's. A lot of people are like, yo, you're retarded, you're stupid, how are you not paying this? I used to do delivery. I'm running up, I'm doing my best. I can't be paying for parking if it's in a loading zone. I can't. Time is money, right? I'm not parking 3 blocks away and carrying this heavy thing. I'm going to put the hazard sign on, put the on delivery thing in my windshield, and pray that the parking enforcement person isn't a prick. A lot of them are not, but over years of doing it, and a couple are my fault, I will admit, obviously. A couple are like, oh, I'm in there 5 minutes, I'm good. Or I'm going in for an audition, oh, I'll be good. And it's $60, $70, whatever. Those are probably 1,500 of the $5,000, assuming it was $5,000, was on me. But the majority wasn't, boy. I was just a motherfucker trying to make a nut, as Tupac might say in some similar words. But man, things are coming together. I'm slowly getting in more with some clubs here in New York City. The Grizzly Pair, I'm working with them a lot. Hopefully Sesh Comedy, I'm going to be in with them. The end goal, the Comedy Cellar. I'm coming for y'all. I've got my eyes laser focused on the Comedy Cellar. And I'm going to do everything in my power to marinate in the area and work my way up slowly but surely. And then once I become a Cellar regular, that's my goal achieved for New York, is to be a Cellar. I'm looking at this whole thing like a game. That's why I moved here, to become a regular at the Comedy Cellar. Once I achieve that, in my mind, I can go anywhere. Nashville, Tennessee, I always have a place in my heart because no state tax, no snow, barely see salt, not that far from Canada, pretty centralized in the States, quick trips, B&A Airport, love it, Delta Hub, hey, you can do no wrong, right? So I may end up there after I achieve my goals here, but those are long away. So in the meantime, look out for some new YouTube content. Instagram, everything will be the same. Hustle as always. Come see me on the road, BC, Kelowna, Kamloops, Victoria, Vancouver, the end of June. Tickets at abbaswahab.com. And then in July, I'm coming back to Ontario. And then in the fall, I'm going to do a lot of American dates. I got a booking agent that's working on them now. Hopefully, I'll be able to do new places I haven't gone. Phoenix, Vegas, Boise, Tampa. I haven't been in any of these spots. I want to hit them up. But July, come out, see me in Ottawa, July 17th and 18th, live on Elgin. July 16th, I'm in Montreal. See me there. I'm adding a Kitchener date. Kitchener, I will be there July 24th, I believe. And I'm adding a Hamilton date, July 10th possibly. Don't quote me on that. But for now, I got to go and do some other stuff. And I appreciate y'all for tuning in to the Abbas Wahab Show in the Sequoia. Look out for my video about the Sequoia. I appreciate y'all for tuning in. Honestly, when I pulled up to the Sequoia today, I was afraid the catalytic converter would be gone. So it's on there. The car is idling nice and quiet. Thank y'all for tuning in. If you like and subscribe and comment, it helps the algorithm. Do those things. If you made it to the end, even if you're only listening on audio in your car, make a mental note to go to the YouTube video and then comment, ha ha, Liddy, yo, I stole your catalytic converter, son. Ha ha. Like and subscribe, so on and so forth. I appreciate y'all. Until next time.